Welcome to More Than Just Business, powered by the growth coach of the Poconos. I'm Rick Franzo. Ironically, I am the growth coach of the Poconos, so I've powered this entire vlogcast. With us today is Hudson. She is the president, the El Capitan, La Capitana. I'm illiterate in so many languages, I can't even tell you. Lisa leads us at the growth coach. It's based in Cincinnati, Ohio. Lisa, how are you today?
I am great, Rick. How are you doing today? You're all fired up and ready to go, it sounds
Man,
like.
I'll tell you what, this quarantining has me climbing the walls. I'm ready to go, man. Go, man, go. We're all living that Zoom life, like I say quite often. So, yeah, here we are. But it's good to see you, and thank you so much for your time.
Well, thanks for having me, Rick.
Absolutely. Tell everybody a little bit more about Lisa and how she got started here with the Growth Coach. What led you here?
Absolutely. So I actually had a very long-standing career with Macy's department stores for over 26 years, and really just started out as a sales manager, worked my way up to be a store manager for over 19 years, ran stores that were smaller, that had about 40 employees, all the way up to 400 and 500 employees. And that was a great start. They had a great coaching culture there in how we gave feedback. And then also, as you grow from a store's different sizes, you learn you have to change your leadership style, right? You can't lead the same in a small as you can in a big. And so lots of great lessons. And the coaching part was really my very favorite part. And that led me to the growth coach as a franchise owner. And I was a franchise owner for 4 years in Indianapolis, Indiana. And that was also equally fun because, again, I was helping leaders and business owners and executives learn how to coach and lead their teams as well, and to be able to find the profit and the systems that they needed to be more effective to drive their business. And then from there, I became the president of the Growth Coach just a little over a year ago. And now I'm able to help coaches and their communities, both nationally and internationally, be able to do the same things for their clients. And so coaching has always been just part of my background. It's what I love to do. If you're a family member or a friend, you sometimes also get a little coaching because it's just part of what I do. So
whether they want it or not.
That's right. That sometimes it's not even asked for it, it's given. So
there
isn't that
you go. See, the gift that keeps on giving. That's what a coach is really all about.
When I start to tilt my head and ask you questions, you know it's coming.
You're like, hey, so what do you think? That's awesome. You said nationally and internationally. So the Growth Coach is an international business. It's a franchise, right?
It is. So it's a franchise. We have locations all across the United States and both in South America, overseas. We have Spain, India, Singapore. We have quite a few throughout the world as well as here. And all of them working in communities. They become the coaches of their communities, really helping business owners. And it's kind of fun to uplift the businesses in the area that you live, right? Those are the people that you're surrounded by, and your kids are going to school with their kids. And it's really fun to be part of an organization that's going to lift up a community and try to make their businesses as successful as they possibly can be.
Yeah, absolutely. And small businesses, my gosh, through this entire COVID-19 situation, even worldwide, we're really seeing the impact. We all knew it, but it really brings it to the forefront how small businesses really are the backbone of not only our country, but so many other countries, every country as well, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it just doesn't impact the owner, it trickles down to everyone that's working for them and their families. So it just has a dramatic impact as we're seeing today.
Yeah, for sure. You had mentioned coaching culture when you were talking about yourself and what you did at Macy's for small stores and larger stores. The coaching culture, that's very interesting. And so can you talk a little bit more about the coaching culture that, how does that really parlay into businesses maybe engaging in a business coach and kind of overcoming some of the misconceptions about it? Some of the things that I've faced as a business coach when I was first launching was, I don't really need a business coach. My business is not in trouble. And that's quite the opposite. We help businesses that are in trouble, but we also help businesses that are successful to level up. So could you talk to us a little bit more about what the value of having a business coach on a business's side would do for them?
Absolutely. And I have some great experience. Not only was I coach, I had a terrific coach for a couple of years at Macy's. And I think what a coach can really help you do is think beyond yourself, right? And there's a level of accountability. My coach, which I try to use that as an example, was really to leverage my strengths. Mostly we know what's wrong, right? We know what's wrong with our business. We know what we need to fix. And a coach can really help you come along and say, okay, where are your best skills and how can you be overcoming it? And if you aren't using your best skills, if there are so many things that are getting in your way, that's a real trigger to understand that a coach can help you remove some of those things off your plate so you can get back to being the strategic business owner or leader. And that's really important, because if we have too much on our plate, we miss things, and we miss really important things. And
Yeah.
that's what can cause our business to go up and down, right? And not stay
Yeah.
steadily growing. And I use the example of working in small stores and then going to big stores. I had to totally change my behavior from working with 40 people to 400 people. And that wasn't easy. And I probably have some bruises, to show you from that, because it's a learning lesson. And, to have a coach is really having someone that is looking at it from a different perspective, and who really is kind of like your GPS, who's helping to guide you through your path, staying with you and redirecting you. And sometimes that's uncomfortable. You want to have a little bit of accountability. Accountability helps us move forward. And as a leader of a business, sometimes we don't really hold ourselves as accountable, right? We have great excuses, or we're too busy, or there's a lot going on, or now's not the right time. But if it's not the right time now, how's it going to get better in 6 months? And so you really have to have that ability to have someone you feel really comfortable with. And that's the best thing, is really finding a coach that you can get real with. You can't lie to your coach, right? Your coach can't help you if we don't really know what's going on. And
That's right.
sometimes we're going to see it from a different perspective and kind of ask you really tough questions to have you make some decisions that will help you overcome your fears. Because a lot of the times, the reason we don't move forward, we may know it, we may understand it, but that fear kind of jumping is hard, because what if it doesn't work? And so we're going to help give you that ability to jump and to take some risks that are calculated based on your goals to help you move forward. And again, both of those works whether your business is struggling or whether your business is doing great. Either way, you have some fears, and you need someone to kind of help guide you through that. And, most of our coaches, yourself included, we do a lot of that in group coaching. And that's a really great way to be able to see the different layers, because you're now with a group and you realize you're not the only one. Because in our heads, right, everyone else is doing great but us. And
Yep.
that's not
Right.
really true. And so when you're with a group, you can hear how others are overcoming. You might be able to help someone overcome, and that's fulfilling. But you're also learning, how to move forward together as a group, how to hold one another accountable, how to learn some new skills, build foundational blocks, because you didn't get into either the greatness or the badness all at once. It took time. It's going to take a little bit of time to get out of it. But doing nothing means you're just going to stay right where you are. And that does not sound fun for a lot of folks.
It really is. And again, it's, knowing who you are. And we have a process that we use called DISC, and I'm going to get to that in a second, but I just want to touch on group coaching for a second. Group coaching really brings people in together that get it. It's almost same circus, different tent. You have people with similar challenges, and also people with similar triumphs, and everybody holds everybody accountable. And it's a great dynamic. And I feel that group coaching, you get so much more out of it as a participant than
Mhm.
even with the one-to-one coaching, because again, you have a certain perception of yourself, and then you see some other people and you're like, wow, people are absolutely sharing a lot of the same challenges that I have, and they're having a lot of the same triumphs. So it's always good to bring people together like that. But knowing yourself is so important, and you touched on that as well. We use a tool called DISC to help people to realize some of their behaviors that they exhibit that maybe they didn't even realize. Can you explain DISC and the short version? Because we could do a whole show on DISC, I mean, for sure. But you are the resident DISC expert. So if you could talk about DISC for a second, that would be great.
Absolutely. So DISC really is a great tool that we utilize. We have several different types based on the job function for someone, really to be able to understand that coaching and being able to coach others really starts with self-awareness and communication. And businesses can be so much more efficient if we understand who we are, as well as how others are different from us, and how they communicate and how they accept feedback and how they learn and grow. And when you know that, now it's an open book quiz by using DISC, you can prepare for your conversations. And you talked about a coaching culture. A coaching culture is really understanding the individual in front of you, understanding their goals and their, I would say, their strengths and their blind spots, and being able to help guide them to success, right? And so
Right.
DISC really allows us to do that, because if you and I are very different, and I'm going to have a conversation with you, knowing your DISC helps me build a bond with you and helps me understand your strengths. And then that bond, once established, helps me to be able to give you coaching on your blind spots to help you move forward. And that ability, you will receive it if I give it to you in the way that you receive it best, not necessarily how I want to receive it. And so there's a lot of learning in that. And, you know, it's kind of funny because when we give people back a DISC, the first thing they'll say is, my spouse says this is all true, right? So they
Right.
know us best, right? And they are able to help us. But in the business workplace, that's our family too, right? And so have you ever heard, well, you know, that's just kind of the way they are. And that's great, but are we communicating where we need to see change, where we need to see differences in communication? And so that whole piece, first of all, everybody loves talking about themselves. So that's kind of fun to take it and to kind of learn, you know, I do that well. And sometimes we have to be reminded, if we're not in a good place, all the strengths that we do have.
Right.
And then are we using those? And are we as leaders asking people to use their best skills? Or are we asking them to do something that's not in their wheelhouse? Because that never works out well. Right? So it can be a great tool to help us and to remind people that, you know, this might be a blind spot for you. So it's not that you aren't doing something because you don't want to. It's not in your wheelhouse, so you have to make a conscious effort. So we can prepare for conversations. We can make them less personal, because we're going to be communicating in a way that's not misunderstood, because we kind of know from the test what the open book questions are.
Right, exactly. And you talked about leadership, and as we face this COVID-19, maybe getting back into the ramping up phase, hopefully sooner rather than later. What does business recovery look like from the standpoint of leadership, and how can coaching help that along and help people to become business owners, professionals, better, more effective leaders? Is that something that you would want to see as part of leadership and communication, right?
Right. I
And
think
anything else that you would put in with that?
Yeah, I would say that, you know, right now, with everything that's going on, every leader probably has had some great learnings and aha about where their business was going into it.
Lots of aha
Um,
moments.
Ahas and pivot, right? So those
Yeah,
businesses that have been able to embrace some new things and some new technology and some new ways of doing business, they'll be the ones that'll be the first ones out of the gate. So again, you know, DISC really tells us who's going to be able to identify that and move forward, and who's going to need some help with it. Some people are slower to change than others. But with COVID, I think as far as a leader, you know, this gives us a real leadership opportunity to kind of turn the mirror on ourselves and say, how did I do? And, you know, that's going to be based on, am I a leader that has been out front and really taking care of my team and communicating even when it's difficult right now? And am I visible? And am I talking about what it's going to look like now going forward, and kind of, again, leading them, which is, again, coaching, consistent communication, follow-up, all of that's really important. And, you know, right now, everybody has some downtime to kind of do some soul searching and really understanding, you know, where am I a good leader? Where can I be better? What are the needs of my team? And, you know, what is it going to look like when we come back? You know, many people can come back in different places. They may have some new financial concerns, both as a business owner, but also as an employee. And so how are we going to have some empathy towards that? We're all in this together. We're going to have to try some new things, and really be that leader that's going to be open and communicative with their team and hold them accountable at the same time. And that's a skill and an art. And, you know, really, are you prepared for that? And DISC helps us to be able to identify that more quickly than a trial and error comeback.
Yeah, absolutely. And all that time for self-reflection, all joking aside, this really is, if you're going to use any of this time to be valuable for yourself and for your business, but you personally, most of all, it's that self-reflection. So this is also a time where people are pivoting, and we use that term quite often, of maybe thinking about a career change. And so what about being a business coach? Are there opportunities with the growth coach? If people decide, you know what, I really like coaching. I like the way that I feel about leadership. I like leading from the front, leading by example, and they want to start their own business. Not that they're unhappy where they are. Maybe they felt they had a good run where they are, but it's time for a change. And this is the season of change,
It
it
is.
seems, whether we like it or not, by design or default. So are there opportunities for people to start their own businesses?
Absolutely. So, with the Growth Coach is a franchise. So, all of our coaches have a territory that's a protected territory of about 15,000 businesses. And we do that by design because small businesses become kind of like a spider web of referrals, and being able to help you grow your business by getting into a community and being known as the growth coach, just like you are the growth coach of the Poconos, right? And so that those opportunities are definitely out there in all of the cities across America. And we love finding the right people that truly want to help others, that may have had a coaching background at their corporate job like I did, who really want to help others in one way. And it doesn't necessarily mean you've been a coach before, but it does mean that you've helped grow and develop others, and you've really wanted to invest time in them, and you love helping them overcome their fears. You're naturally curious about people and their businesses because you definitely want to help them move forward. Those are all the types of traits that we look for. And then through our systems and our training and our ongoing support, we're able to kind of help you with your business so you're not out there alone. Just like we say our business owners aren't alone, our growth coaches aren't alone. We have consistent support to help them be better and to help more people in their communities and be fulfilled and have a great new career.
Absolutely. I know that as a growth coach myself, I've helped to make a difference in people's lives, and there is nothing more fulfilling than that. So that's really great, Lisa. And we will put the information up at the end of this. And so thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I hope you stay well. I hope you stay healthy. And I hope that you get to spend a nice quality time walking around your neighborhood with your dogs. We didn't even talk about your dogs. They're
I
great
know.
dogs.
They're awesome dogs. They're not very good Zoom participants.
They are not.
I've learned they're not, but they are great. And Rick, thank you so much for not all that you do in your community, but that with all that you do for the Growth Coach organization. You're always coming up and sharing great ideas and helping us find great coaches and helping your peers whenever they need it. And so we just really appreciate you as well.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate your kind words. Everybody, Lisa Hudson, Growth Coach, President, Cincinnati, Ohio. Lisa, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Rick. Stay safe.
You too. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.